All right, today we're going to talk about a massive shift happening in the world of video games. And no, it's not about better graphics or the next big console. It's about the very currency that makes the whole industry tick. And here's a little hint. It has nothing to do with what's in your wallet. See, if you really want to understand modern gaming, you have to get your head around this new currency that pretty much every single developer is chasing. It's a resource that's become so rare that it's now the most valuable thing they can possibly get their hands on. So, let me just ask you this. In a world where there are literally millions of free games just to tap away, what do you think a game developer's most valuable asset is? Is it how many people download the game? How many sales they make? The real answer, well, it might actually surprise you. You know, back in the day, the deal was simple. You gave them your Oni, they gave you their game. Easy. But now the real prize isn't your cash. It's your eyeballs. It's your focus. It's your attention. And this change represents a huge pivot in how the industry even thinks about making money. We've moved from a world where you just owned a game to one where you are constantly engaged with it. Let's dig into how we even got here. I mean, the evolution is it's night and day. We've gone from what you could call the one and done model, right? You buy the cartridge, you pop it in, and that's it. The deal's over, to the live in it model. Today's developers don't just want you to buy their game. They want you to live inside of it. And this whole phenomenon, it actually has a name. It's called the attention economy. The entire thing is built on this one simple idea that human attention is a limited, scarce resource. In a world that is just overflowing with entertainment options, your focus, that's become the most precious commodity of all. And free-to-play games, well, they're the ones that really blew the doors open on this whole thing. I mean, think about it. When a game costs nothing to even start playing, a developer's success depends entirely on keeping you interested long enough to, watch a rewarded ad or come back for that daily logging bonus. Your time and your attention literally become the engine that powers the game's entire economy. So how do they do it, right? How do these developers manage to capture and hold onto our focus so effectively? Well, it all comes down to some really clever psychological hooks that are baked right into the game design itself. And what's fascinating is that developers use two really powerful and almost totally opposite approaches to command our attention. On the one hand, you've got this feeling of total control that gets you into what's called a flow state. And on the other hand, you've got this high-stakes urgency that just demands your complete focus. Let's break those down. Okay, so first up is that flow state. Just picture any kind of simulation game. Maybe it's a shopping cart simulator where you're organizing items on shelves. The tasks are kind of repetitive, sure, but they're also super satisfying. And you get so absorbed in perfecting your own little world that hours, they just melt away. That deep immersion is exactly what makes your focused attention so incredibly valuable. Then you've got the other side of the coin. You have games that don't just gently lull you into a flow state. No, they demand your attention through pure tension. Think of a prison escape game. Every single decision matters. One wrong move and bam, it's game over. This kind of high-stakes problem-solving forces your brain to be 100% locked in. Now, look, getting your attention once, that's good. But keeping you coming back day after day after day, that's the real holy grail. And this is achieved through a really powerful cycle that's known as the retention loop. Okay, so this is a super powerful 3-step psychological cycle. First, you take an action, stocking that shelf, picking a lock. Then, boom, you get a reward, some in-game currency, a new item, that sweet dopamine hit of success. And just as you're feeling good about that, the game presents an expansion. A new, bigger goal that requires, yep, you guessed it, more of your time and more of your attention. But, this is a really delicate balance. If a game gets too aggressive with its ads or its in-app purchases, it just completely shatters that feeling of immersion. And poof, it loses your attention. The most successful games are the ones that weave these things in so they feel like part of the experience, not some annoying interruption. So when you strip it all down, what does this new relationship between us, the players, and the developers actually look like? Well, you can think of it as a new kind of transaction, a fair trade, really. This right here is the new contract of modern gaming. As a player, you're basically saying, okay, I will give you my most valuable resource, my focus. And in return, the developer is promising, and I will give you a world that is actually worth focusing on. This quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? In the attention economy, all that other stuff, the in-game currency, the power-ups, the leaderboards, it's all secondary. For a developer, the real victory is just capturing and holding your gaze. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. The next time you log in for that daily reward, or you find yourself saying, just one more level, take a second and ask yourself what you're really spending. It's not just your time. It's the most valuable currency you have. Thanks for your attention.